This is something we're all looking forward to, making his debut at the Big Chill. Will you please warmly welcome to the stage, John Cooper Clarke?
Hiya. Thanks for showing out here this afternoon. What a lovely day. What a fabulous band, Edward II. Can you hear me okay? Nice one. Yeah, get comfortable round the front there. We got 3-foot barriers to keep me away from you. Don't worry about it. Move forward. It's nice to be nice. Okay, I'm always asked. Johnny, well, I'm asked a lot of questions, actually. I don't know why. I must give the impression of somebody that knows something. But really, I might have a few questions for you. What is occasional furniture the rest of the time? Why is there only one monopolist commission? And if Jesus was Jewish, why the Spanish name? There'll be a few more questions coming your way before long. But the main question I'm normally asked is, Johnny, how did you get here? And I'd tell them in the usual way. My mummy and daddy loved each other very much, went courting, got engaged, then they got married. One thing led to another. Nature took its course, and here I am. No, Johnny, what we wanted to know was, what method of transport did you employ? And I tell them in the best kind of car known to man. And that car is a hire car, ladies and gentlemen. For these very reasons, these are the social advantages inherent in the rented vehicle. Double park, don't lock the door, push the pedals through the floor. Give it loads and then some more, it's a hire car, baby. Grip the stick, grind the gears, watch that distance disappear. Never be yours in 1,000 years, it's a hire car, baby. It's a hire car, well, why would anybody buy a car? Bang it, prang it, say ta-ta. It's a hire car, baby. Bad behaviour on the street, save yourself a couple of sheets. Collision waiver, keep it sweet, it's a hire car. Show this motor no respect. Bump it, dump it, call collect. What else did the firm expect? It's a hire car, baby. Drive the motherfucker anywhere just like you don't care. Put it down to wear and tear. It's a hire car. Hire car, hire car. Whenever you require a car, why hot wire a car? Hire a car, baby. Bad behaviour on the street, save yourself a couple of sheets, as I said, keep it neat, hire car, baby. Try not to kill yourself or injure anybody else. Don't forget to fasten your belts. Rent it, dent it, bang it, prang it, bump it, dump it, scorch it, torch it, crash and burn it, don't return it. Lost deposit, let them earn it, who cares, it's on the firm, it's a hire car, baby. It's a hire car, baby. Oh yeah. So, guy goes to the doctors for a medical examination. The doctor says, look, you're going to have to stop masturbating. What? Why? Because I'm trying to conduct a medical examination. Speaking of medical matters, here's a little jingle that I wrote for the beleaguered National Health Service to help combat the social scourge that is STIs, ladies and gentlemen. STIs are what STDs used to be. Sexually transmitted diseases, ladies and gentlemen, for which this country leads the world by a sizzling 78%. I don't know why that always gets a cheer. Is it really something to be so proud of, ladies and gentlemen? I ask you. Anyway, this one I wrote for them, for the beleaguered National Health Service, to help them in their struggle, their relentless day and night struggle with the scourge of society that is STDs, ladies and gentlemen. And this one used to be called Lydia. But yes, there's a couple of Dean Friedman fans over there that have spotted that title's already been used. As I found out almost to my cost 6 weeks ago, I was doing a show. Who should be in the audience but the ragamuffin Romeo himself, Mr. Dean Friedman. The call from the wings went something like this. Psst, Johnny, he's in the audience. Who? Dean Friedman. He's very rich and he's a very litigious person and he can afford a better lawyer than you can, so change the title, Rapid. I changed the title, Rapid, and now it's a much better title, proving once again that necessity is the mother of invention, and not Frank Zappa, as we had originally assumed. Anyway, it's a much better title now. It's called Lydia, Girl with an Itch. Lydia, Lydia, get rid of your chlamydia, only an idiot would ever consider you. It's a quick one because they can't afford much airtime. Here's another quick one now. This one's another advert, but this one's for the Martini people. And I wrote this for them, this little jingle for them, in the hope that in return they would send to me a year's supply or a lifetime's supply, whichever is the greater, of their enervating beverage. And this one's called Home Honey I'm High. Frontal lobes just had a trim, or have you seen the moonies? Wrong on both counts, Jim. Too many martinis. It's all right, listen. Save it up, give it me in a lump sum at the end. It'll seem like a lot. I love these outdoor events from a distance. I like it on the news when you get the helicopter view of it all and you realise what a chump I was. No, it's lovely weather for it though, eh? So I thought I'd go for the country squire outfit. What do you think? I knew you'd like this, the country squire. I've come to see what you're all doing on my property. I was naturally curious. Anyway, do you want another quick one? All right, this one's called The Chosen. And, well, it's self-explanatory, really. It goes like this. Odd that I've been thinking a lot about comparative religions. So seeing as it's Sunday, we'll have this as my thought for the day. Right? Thought for the day, by the Reverend Johnny Clarke. Right? Odd that God should choose the Jews, but they're going annoying. You've just been listening to or have just missed Thought for the Day by John Cooper Clarke. Here's a thought, here's another question I've got for you. Are there any marine biologists out there? I knew there would be at a gathering like this. How did I know that? I can really read a crowd. I'm a professional. I knew you'd be. And I bet you lot, I can see a lot of golf enthusiasts. Am I right? Now, I'm no detective. Unless you count that 35 years I spent working for Scotland Yard Forensic Division. But I like to think that I can spot a golf player from 5 miles away. And this crowd here tonight, am I right? It's rich in golf aficionados, yeah? Yeah? I knew it, man. All them Argyle pullovers. Unmistakable. So here's a delicious little golf anecdote for you. This bloke is just about to tee off, and this funeral procession goes past. So he stops what he's doing, takes his hat off, waits till it goes past, gives it all that, puts his hat back on, and proceeds to play golf. And his pal says, in all these years I've been playing golf with you, I never knew you had this sentimental side to your nature. You know, it's a revelation to me, this. I've never seen this side of you before. He says, yeah, we would have been married 27 years next Thursday. I see you like the golf anecdotes. I knew I could read an audience. I thought, that's a golf crowd, I said to my mate before. I said, that's a golf crowd, didn't I? That's a golf crowd, I said. All right, here's one. There's 3 ladies walking across the fairway there, and this streaker runs across, his face obscured by a towel. So the first one says, well, it's not my husband. And the second one says, no, it isn't. And the third one says, he's not even a member of the club. I knew you'd dig the golf shit. Never fails with a pop festival crowd. There's some kind of crossover. I don't know what it is. Iggy Pop and Alice Cooper play it. Don't believe the hype. All right, do you want another poem, I suppose, do you? I don't know. You tell me. All right, then this one's a limerick, right? I wrote it in Limerick 25 years ago. Funnily enough, ironically enough, I was in Limerick, and the pressure was on, right? And in those days, in Southern Ireland, it was very difficult to get condoms. In fact, they used to smuggle them in bags of heroin. So there I was, a bit of a loose end there, all those years ago. And the pressure was on. Johnny, you're a poet. We're in the capital city of poetry, Limerick, where they invented the most famous kind of poetry in the world. Let's be having a limerick about Limerick. No problem, give us a pen. So I started off. I once knew a fella from Limerick, but I thought, no, that's a lie. I don't know anybody from Limerick. I've never met anybody from Limerick. So start off on the right foot. Try to tell the truth. It's bad enough when you rhyme, you know. Not everything that rhymes is true. Believe it or not. What a tragedy. What a tragedy if you're in the business. But anyway, there I am, you know. Let's be having I didn't know anybody from Limerick, so I thought, that's out. Start off as you mean to go on. Make it as truthful as you can. So, there once was a fella from Limerick. There's no problem there, is there? There's been millions of fellas from Limerick. I don't have to have known them. There's been millions of fellas from so there once was a fella from Limerick. But where do you go from there? Nothing rhymes with Limerick. Don't go racking your brains. I've looked into it. I'm a professional, so you don't have to. Nothing rhymes with Limerick. The nearest I can get is turmeric. And you try working that ubiquitous yellow spice into a viable rhyme scheme. So nothing rhymes with Limerick, right? So I was at a bit of a... I think the Limerick it's a joke the Irish are playing on the rest of the world. It's like the Irish knock-knock joke. Do you know that one? The knock-knock joke from Ireland. Do you know that one? No. You start. Who's there? You see what I mean? Where do you go from there? It's like the first line of the Limerick not rhyming. So I wrote a Limerick that doesn't rhyme. And it's not even about Limerick. So do you want to hear it or what? All right then. There once was a fella from Lee who thought he'd been stung by a wasp. When asked did it hurt, he said no, it can do it again if it wants. You see how that didn't rhyme there actually, but I told you up front, thank you. Thank you very much. But you know what, I told you up front that wasn't going to rhyme, so I don't want any snotty letters after the event on the lines of, you know, dear sir, imagine my disappointment. Upon attending a poetry reading by the late John Cooper Clarke, only to discover that his so-called limerick failed to rhyme. Disheartened, Ledbury. Don't try to do me under the Trades Descriptions Act either, it won't do you any good. Believe me, I've been in litigation with Time Warner Video for the last 27 years on account of that never-ending story. I blame my lawyer for the lack of success. You don't want a lawyer that starts every conversation with, well, I'm no legal expert, but... Right. Incidentally, if there are any lawyers out there tonight, this afternoon rather, So we've got plenty of time. If there are any lawyers out there, highly likely given the chosen demographic, if there are any out there, I need the answer to this legal question by the end of the afternoon if possible. And my question is this, because a friend of mine was recently sent to prison for something that he didn't do. He didn't run when the police came to arrest him. So he needs the answer. He needs the answer to this legal question right now. And my question is this. If you shot a peasant, right, if you shot a peasant, could you get off on the grounds of dyslexia? I need the answer by the end of the evening, if possible. Anyway, you know what a haiku is? A haiku is a well-known form of poetry pioneered in the 15th century in Japan by a guy called Basho, who wrote for the Floating World School of Zen Buddhism. It's a poem of a 17-syllable discipline, and this is Johnny Clarke's first... I changed my name by deed poll last Thursday. Johnny, because I'm moving to America, it's John Cooper Clarke these days. It's Johnny Clarke's first haiku. Haiku number 1, I call it, and it goes exactly like this. To convey one's mood in 17 syllables is very difficult. What? Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie. Sorry, I'm shouting. I've got a microphone here. I didn't realise I don't have to shout. Just tell me, Johnny, no need to shout, John. You know, we've got the technology. Sorry about that. How's your eardrums? I'm selling cotton wool round the back. Reasonable prices. Oh, yeah, here. Yeah, you might not have heard this one. Oh, fuck you now. Look, I'm already making the place look untidy. I've only been here 9 minutes. Something like that. Jeez. This one's called The List. The list of shit that don't exist, to give it its full title here. A rational dream, a bucket of steam, a riveting piece in Heat magazine, a gay baby in Bethnal Green. None of the above has ever been seen. Chinese cheese, African skis, a technical term for the back of our knees. It's true that there is no anatomical terminology for that part of the body. A technical term for the back of our knees, developers embracing trees, an argument where each side agrees, a sergeant major saying please, you won't find any of these. I think that I shall never see that developer hug that tree, the pussycat swimming in the deep blue sea, the feminist hooker who splits the fee, the best things in life that come for free, these things remain unknown to me. The pugilist without a fist, sorry about this, the fantasist without a tryst, the onanist without a wrist, the journalist who isn't pissed. All of the above exist on the list of shit that don't exist. I don't think I ever met a state nurse with a private jet, a Presbyterian Bernadette, a bookie wiping out all debts, returning unsuccessful bets. Try to get some foam rubber castanets, a health-inducing cigarette, maybe one day, not yet, kosher ham, vegan spam, a virgin bride with a double pram, a chocolate teapot, a plastic pan, a nylon kettle, a girl named Stan. If I can't find them, no one will. Cheers. Look at it. Look at it. Thank you very much. Buckalench here. Excuse me, I just need a drink. Right, yeah, really. You know that one, I just had a request from over there, but I'm going to carry on anyway. No, for one called Majorca it's called, because I wrote it when I couldn't pronounce the name, out of jealousy, because everybody else was going there, and we were still going, oh, I don't know, Grange over Sands, or some horrible northern resort like this. And I wrote it out of jealousy because I'd never been there. And so since then I've been to Mallorca and I feel like a chump for ever writing that poem in the first place now. It's terrific. I can't recommend it enough. And I was there when the fascists were in charge, so it's probably tons better now, I don't know. It was all right then. To be honest, I mean, I was only there a fortnight, but, you know, maybe one day I'd have brought out the worst in them. But I found them very helpful. Look at this, look at it, look at the state of this now. Right, another poem, is it? So this fella goes to the council. He says, I want to skip outside our house. He says, well, who's stopping you? It's all the nice family stuff for the afternoon I'm bringing out here, you know what I mean? There's children here, the under 40s are here. Mixed company and all that. So I'm doing all the clean stuff, like the scarecrow that got the Nobel Peace Prize. He was outstanding in his field. Grown. It's a countryside gag. I was trying to be appropriate. I've gone into the ergonomics, I thought. What's funny in the countryside, I thought? Scarecrows, straw. Anything else? Straw. You know, straw's not all it's cracked up to be. I went for a ride on one of them wagons full of straw. Ever since I've seen 7 Year Itch with Marilyn Monroe, I've always wanted to go for a ride on a hay cart full of straw. Is it the same thing, straw and hay? Is it different things? What's straw then? What's the best thing to go for a ride on a... Hey, well, one of them, yeah. It's not very comfortable. It's not as comfortable as you might think. In fact, that's, you know, finding a needle in a haystack. I can see why it's difficult, because they're like little, every piece of that straw is like a needle.
It's just going to keep going.
Not as comfortable as it looks. You see it in the picture books, don't you? It looks great, doesn't it? Oh, bloody hell. Could I ever drop off on one of them? You think, don't you? Who needs posture springing when nature provides a bed like that? That's what you think, don't you? But you try kipping on a stack of fucking straw. A bed of nails would seem like a welcome relief after that, I'm telling you. It's like acupuncture gone mad. Except it induces pain, you know. I know somebody that's actually give up smoking through acupuncture. He stuck pins in all his cigarettes. I'm digging out the clean ones. What do you want? Yeah, dear. Dear fuck. A bloke goes into a pet shop, he says, can I have a wasp? He says, I don't sell wasps. He says, you got two in the window. Get off, you fucking rotten. This is kids stuff. If you want the good stuff, you want to leave the kids at home. Get a fucking babysitter. What you doing bringing them to a Johnny Clarke show anyway, you degenerate bastards? You deserve for them to grow up into no good nicks. Let this be a lesson to you all. Anyway, there's my favourite shots here today. It's on the other side of that barrier there, and I'm not getting any kickbacks for this. I won't do adverts as a matter of principle. Incidentally, if you're feeling peckish on the way home, mutton jets. Mutton jets. Sheep on the cheap. You kill them, they grill them. And I also like Eddie's Yacht Supplies for all your nautical needs. So anyway, this is a pretty new one. It's about growing old, which has nothing to recommend it, as you can imagine. The reason I wrote this one was because I was asked to do the Dracula show in Whitby. Every year in Whitby, the Dracula people have a get-together there, because apparently, if you've read the book by Bram Stoker, Dracula actually goes to live in Whitby, which is on the Yorkshire coast. And if you go to Whitby, you'll see why. If you go to Whitby, you'll never see the sunshine again. So you can see it held a great allure for the Count, who actually got a gaff there. But the sum total of my knowledge of Dracula is obviously Christopher Lee and the Hammer movies, which started out, he was immortal, you couldn't kill him. But that's no good, because there's no dramatic tension if he can't be killed. He's just going to piss over all the opposition, and that'll be that. There's no point in making the film. Everybody has to have their Achilles heel, or there is no dramatic tension in it. Superman has kryptonite, Batman has Robin, Achilles is aforementioned heel. So they had to have one thing that could kill Dracula. Well, what would that be? I don't know, something that wouldn't distress you or I, but is a life-threatening situation to the Count. What can it be? Daylight. Yeah, that's good enough, daylight. So, as you know, the first Dracula film ends with the scene of Peter Cushing ripping down the heavy velvet drapes just as the sun is coming up, and that's the end of Dracula. But it's a very popular film. They've got to bring out a sequel. So they got to think, what's it going to be this time then? Daylight? No, we can't have that. We've got these top dollar actors from the Royal Shakespeare Company, the likes of Christopher Lee, Michael Gough, Victor Madden, et al. Why waste money on acting talent like that when the punters are just going to be looking at the curtains to see when the sun's coming up? It's a waste of fucking money. No, we'll have to introduce another way of getting rid of the Count. So what will that be? I don't know. I know. A wooden stake through the heart. Well, it wouldn't do anybody much good, but again, it's got to be a wooden stake or it won't work for the Count. Okay, so that'll take them by surprise. Anyway, to cut a long story short, these films, there was a different Dracula film every year for the next 17 years or something, and they kept having to introduce new ways of getting rid of Count Dracula. So it went from daylight, it went from immortal, undead, you can't kill him, but he has to kill to carry on. It went from that public enemy number one, indestructible, to the following things that could kill Dracula. Daylight, wooden stake through the heart, a crucifix, garlic, a silver bullet made from a melted down silver crucifix, decapitation, again it wouldn't do any of us much good, decapitation, fire, and finally, running water. And then they had to wrap it up, because the way it has got now, he's gone from public enemy's folk devil number one to the most vulnerable man on the planet. One's allegiances have made a seismic shift in his favour. So we were all like, by the last movie, we were all like health and safety experts there in the, shut those bleeding curtains, will you? You stupid bloody... Turn that tap off, you stupid bastard. You want to kill the old guy. Fucking hell. So they had to wrap them up after that. They just ran out of ways, really. And that's really is the story of Dracula, cinema-wise, anyway. But this is nothing to do with Dracula, really. It's about being old, because that's why I was asked to do that gig. They said, Johnny, you're 1,000 years old and very pale. Will you be will you compare the Dracula event? So, I give them the old one. What to? Zoom. Anyway, I said, I can't do it this year, but have you thought of asking Ray Reardon? Whether they did or not, I don't know. But anyway, this one's... what happened to that set list? It was blowing over that direction last time I saw it. There it is. What have we got here? I came with a carefully prepared act. So this one's about getting old. Because I was at the doctor's last... sometime in the recent past. He said, Johnny, you've got chronic bronchitis and Alzheimer's. I says, well, look on the bright side, doctor. At least I haven't got chronic bronchitis. Well, you know what? There are 3 advantages to Alzheimer's. You know what they are, those 3 advantages of Alzheimer's? Number 1, you can hide your own Easter eggs. Number 2, you get to meet new people every day. Number 3, you can hide your own Easter eggs. So these are the social disadvantages of getting old. Cheers. What me worry? I should care. Shit for brains, wire for hair. I've seen the future and I ain't there. Things are gonna get worse. Velcro slippers and a spandex waistband, washed up on planet wasteland, zips up like a nylon spaceman. Things are gonna get worse. Things are gonna get worse, nurse. Things are gonna get rotten. Make that hearse reverse, nurse. I'm trying to remember everything that I've forgotten. A menace in the box, I was good in the air. Now I can't get up from an easy chair. The doctor told me, oh yeah, things are gonna get worse. Things are gonna get worse, nurse. Things are gonna get crappy. Colour me perverse, nurse. Bad news always makes me happy. The money's gone, there's only muck. Social services pass the buck. How bad does it have to suck? Things are gonna get worse. Things are gonna get worse, nurse. Things are gonna get dismal. Smite me with a curse, nurse. Make it something real abysmal. All that's left is the taste of soup. Afternoon reruns of Betty Boop. A painful frame with a built-in stoop. And things are gonna get worse. Things are gonna get worse, nurse. I ain't optimistic. I got a mouth like a purse, nurse, and a bungalow smelling of piss and biscuits. Life's a bitch, it's a bit rich, doubled up with a permanent stitch. Any kind of effort would be so last ditch. Things are gonna get worse. Young people make me swear you can't take me anywhere. I'm like a breath of stale air. Oh, excuse me, a one-man medical scare. Things are gonna get worse. Things are going to get worse, nurse. Murder by statistics. Take us back to the first verse. The last one's just too pessimistic. Euthanasia, that sounds good. A neutral alpine neighbourhood, then back to Britain all dressed in wood. Things were going to get worse. Oh yeah, kind of sad. Kind of sad. Thanks very much, guys. So what have we got now? Oh yeah, we're coming up from the second furlong from, thank you very much. We're coming up from the second furlong from Hallmark and now wearing the sheepskin noseband with the stand side with the clear view. And remember, if you learn nothing else from this, what we've been doing here this afternoon, remember this. You can't say night watchman without saying twat. Yeah. Think about it. Spooky. Unknown. I've just designed a Zimmer frame with a built-in abacus so that you can count on your own support. I'm good at making up products and advertising them, but I'm very bad at capitalising on this skill. But I thought of a great one recently. I was approached by a single-issue parliamentary lobby group who want to abolish boxing. Now, I'm not really behind this. I don't mind a bit of boxing. I think if a couple of fully grown adult men want to kick, beat fuck out of each other for 15 rounds, I reckon I'm entitled to have a bet on the outcome. But I give them air space, and they said, you know, we've got this thing, we want to ban boxing. It's a barbaric sport to have in the 21st century. So, but we need a name. You're good at that sort of thing, Johnny, you know what I mean? Give us a name. So anyway, I thought, give us a minute. Anyway, I come back with Ring Piece. Ring Piece, but they never got back to me. You win some, you lose some, you know. Don't know what all the fuss was about. You are. No, I tell you what, we've got to make it snappy, because there's much more music heading your way, ladies and gentlemen. And what a great weekend it's been. Oh, look at this! Now you open another one falls out. I'm going to have to tidy up in a minute, so you know what I mean. You might as well get off now, and I'll tidy up. Thanks, it's been great. Like, so I'm kidding. I'll do a couple. I'll do another one. You're all right. I was kidding. Shouldn't have done that. Now I've got to. It's like going up in a temper and having to come back for something. That, isn't it? It's not a good look. I'll tidy up as I'm going along. I always find that's always best, isn't it? I don't know about you, but I've got a very sort of cramped kitchen area. So it's the way I'm used to working, you know what I mean? Oh, hey, I'll tell you what, I've got one for you. No, I've got one for you now. This one's called Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Have we got sound? Yay! I don't know where it is. We haven't got so many favourites, so little time. Yeah, right. Right, okay, we'll go out on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Right, this one's this one's about my hometown, and it's called Evidently Chicken Town, right? So are you up for it? We'll go out on this one, and then we'll try to remember exactly what went on here today. I'll be asking questions on it later. So here it is, Evidently Chicken Town. I apologise for the language in this, actually, and to be honest, the only reason I'm doing it at all this afternoon is because I can't do it on TV. On account of the last time I tried to do this one on TV, the bleep operators sued for repetitive strain injury. I scored some of that MRSA last night. Fucking hell, man. It's eating away at my flesh. Even as we speak, it's fucking eating away at me, man. I'm having the time of my life. And now I found out I got it wrong. It's MDF I was looking for. I wanted to erect a shed next to the pub. It taught me into having this fucking drug. MRSA, you say. I'm glad I can get that at home. It's eating at me, like holy water on Dracula's face, like acid on his skin. Anyway, thanks for listening this afternoon, guys. And,